Welcome back, y'all. Grab your popcorn, get comfortable, and make sure you're ready for this, because the drama we're about to talk about, it's messy, it's layered, and honestly, it's the kind of tea that keeps the internet up at night. Now listen, when it comes to reality TV chaos, nobody does it quite like Jackie Christie. She's loud, she's unapologetic, and she never backs down. But what happens when Jackie decides to turn her spotlight onto someone else? Someone just as bold, just as controversial, and just as unpredictable. Yep, I'm talking about Evelyn Lozada. Because word on the street is Jackie didn't just throw shade this time. She allegedly came with stories, accusations, and a narrative that has fans looking at Evelyn in a whole different light. And let me tell you, what nobody expected was for this to turn into a full-blown conversation about relationships, age gaps, power dynamics, and secrets that people thought would stay buried. So buckle up, because this story, it's not just drama, it's personal. Now, before we get into the chaos, let's rewind for a second and really understand how we got here, because you can't talk about this situation without knowing the history behind these two women. For years, Basketball Wives has been the ultimate stage for explosive friendships, betrayals, and unforgettable moments. And right at the center of it all, Jackie Christie has always been that one person you can't ignore. Love her or hate her, she makes sure you feel something. Jackie built her reputation as someone who protects her family at all costs. Her marriage, her daughter, her legacy, those things mean everything to her. And whether people agree with her methods or not, one thing is clear: Jackie moves with intention. Then you have Evelyn Lozada. Evelyn's story is complicated. She came into the spotlight as someone who wasn't afraid to speak her mind, stand her ground, and live life on her own terms. Over the years, she's been linked to high-profile relationships, public heartbreaks, and moments that had fans divided. Some people see Evelyn as strong and independent. Others see her as someone who thrives. Because recently, Jackie allegedly started opening up about Evelyn's dating life, and not in a friendly, supportive way. No, Jackie came with a narrative, and that's when everything changed. So here's where the story really picks up. According to whispers that quickly turned into full-blown conversations online, Jackie Christie began hinting, and in some cases straight up saying, that Evelyn Lozada has a pattern when it comes to relationships. And not just any pattern, a very specific one: younger men. Now listen, relationships with age gaps, that's nothing new in Hollywood. It happens all the time. But the way Jackie framed it, that's what got people talking. Because it wasn't just about age, it was about control, it was about image, and according to Jackie, it was about something deeper that fans hadn't really paid attention to before. Jackie allegedly suggested that Evelyn's relationships with younger men weren't just random, but intentional, that there was a certain dynamic in play, one where Evelyn could stay in control, maintain a certain image, and avoid the kind of challenges that come with more equal partnerships. Now, whether that's true or not, that's where opinions start to split. Because some fans immediately jumped to Evelyn's defense. They were like, wait a minute, since when is it a crime for a woman to date younger? And honestly, they have a point. Society has always been more accepting of older men dating younger women, but when the roles are reversed, suddenly it becomes a topic of discussion. But then there were others who said, hold on, maybe Jackie is seeing something we're not. And just like that, the internet was divided. But here's the twist. It didn't stop at just general accusations. Oh no, because things got even more personal. There were claims floating around that some of Evelyn's past relationships had more layers than what was shown publicly. That behind the pictures, the vacations, and the smiles, there were imbalances that people weren't aware of. And suddenly, fans started revisiting old relationships, connecting dots, and asking questions they never asked before. Why did certain relationships end so quickly? Why did some of them feel more like moments than actual partnerships? And why did the patterns seem to repeat? Now, again, none of this is confirmed, but in the world of reality TV, perception can be just as powerful as truth. And Jackie, she knows that. Because one thing about Jackie Christie, she understands how to get people talking. She knows how to plant a seed and let it grow into a full conversation. But here's what makes this situation even messier. This isn't just random gossip between strangers. These are two women who have shared space, shared screens, and shared moments in front of millions of viewers. So when something like this comes out, it hits different, because now it feels personal. It feels like something that's been building for a while, finally coming to the surface. And let's be real, when you mix history, ego, and public image, that's a recipe for drama every single time. But what nobody expected was how emotional this would get, because behind all the headlines and hot takes, there are real people involved. Evelyn, for example, has gone through very public heartbreaks in the past. She's opened up about relationships that didn't work, trust that was broken, and moments that left her questioning everything. So to now have her dating choices turned into a topic of debate, that hits deeper than people might realize. It's not just about who she's dating, it's about how she's being seen. And that can be tough, because no matter how strong you are, nobody likes feeling judged, especially on a global stage. And then there's Jackie. Because while some people see her as messy for speaking out, others see her as someone who isn't afraid to say what everyone else is thinking. But here's the complicated part. Sometimes the line between honesty and hurt gets blurred. And once that line is crossed, it's hard to go back. Now, imagine being in a situation where your personal life becomes public debate, where people who don't know you start analyzing your choices, your relationships, your intentions. That kind of pressure, it can change how you move. It can make you more guarded, more selective, more aware of who you let into your space. And for someone like Evelyn, who's already lived so much of her life in the spotlight, this just adds another layer. But here's the bigger picture. This situation isn't just about Jackie and Evelyn, it's about how we view relationships. It's about the double standards that still exist. It's about the way people are quick to judge without knowing the full story. Because at the end of the day, we only see what's shown to us. We don't see the conversations behind closed doors. We don't see the emotions, the compromises, the reasons why people choose who they choose. And maybe, just maybe, there's more to this story than what's being said. But one thing is for sure, this drama, it's far from over. Because once something like this hits the internet, it doesn't just disappear, it evolves. New opinions form, new details come out, and before you know it, the story takes on a life of its own. So the real question is, was Jackie exposing something real? Or was this just another moment of reality TV tension spilling into real life? And more importantly, how does Evelyn respond? Because silence, that speaks too. And if she decides to address it, you already know it's gonna shake things up even more. Now let me know what y'all think. Do you feel like Jackie crossed the line? Or do you think she was just speaking her truth? And how do you feel about relationships with age gaps? Is it really that big of a deal? Or are people making it bigger than it needs to be? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I already know this conversation is gonna be heated. And if you made it this far, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the next piece of drama. Because trust me, this story, it's only getting started. And you already know we're gonna be right here breaking down every twist, every turn, and every shocking reveal. Until next time, stay curious, stay real, and keep your eyes open, because in this world, there's always more than what meets the eye. And just like that, the story leaves us with more questions than answers. Is this truth finally coming to light, or just another layer of reality TV drama? One thing's for sure, this situation is far from over, and the next move could change everything. So what do you think? Did Jackie Christie go too far, or is Evelyn Lozada hiding more than we know? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss